Shelley Terrell, and this is American TESOL Presents Free Friday Webinars. And it's so interesting because today we're going to talk about online professional development for English language teachers specifically. But every Friday, we will continue to offer free webinars for American TESOL, and you do get certificates of attendance, which many of your institutes will accept. So just let me know at shelleyterrell@gmail.com, and I'll email you that after the session. And you can invite anyone because it's free. It's the same address all the time, the HTTP, the Adobe Connect room. So you can find this every single week. I'm also going to talk about different types of ways you can do this online, but different forums as well. And I'll talk to you about this as we continue. But one of the things I want you to know is that there's a lot of things for you to do in the summer. So recently at the ESLlibrary.com, I wrote a post about how our students can continue to learn what we can do with wikis and games. But I really think that teachers as well, English language teachers, it's important for us in the summer to get our professional development. And the great thing about online is if we just ask our institutes and we show them certificates and we attend these webinars and we say, can I please have a certificate of attendance? Many of them will give us a certificate of attendance. And many of our schools, the reason they don't give us credit is because they don't know about it. But if they knew about it and they can see the recordings of the webinars, then they would give us the attendance. So my always approach to this is, why not ask? So I think for many of us, we just have to ask, show them the webinar recording, and many of our institutes, the directors will say, wow, that's really, really good professional development. Now, the great thing about online, too, is you don't have to waste any gas. You don't have to really dress up. Now, I dress up because I'm giving the webinar, but you can participate in your PJs. And as long as you have an internet connection, I mean, you can even go to an internet cafe. You can drink a cup of coffee, and you can have a nice day participating in a 30-minute to an hour webinar or conference or different types of events, reading a blog, things like that. So this is why I think it's really important that teachers do this. And you never know, you could get credit for this, and a lot of it is free, such as these webinars. So there is a theory behind this. So in case your institutes want a little bit more of a theory, it's called the theory of connectivism. And in connectivism, the theorists behind it are George Siemens and Stephen Downes, and they even offer free professional development. These are called mass open online courses, or you might see them called MOOC. So if you went ahead and you did a Google search for MOOC, M-O-O-C, then you would find that they are even teaching courses. So you could learn from the very best. But connectivism basically says that teachers now, we have so many great tools like video conferencing, like the Adobe Connect here. You can even connect through this through your mobile phone. So like I have the app on my smartphone, and I know some other people put it on their iPads, and then you can connect while you're in the road. And sometimes I've done that. Sometimes I've stopped outside of a McDonald's or something that has free Wi-Fi, and then I connect and I learn online. So you can do this pretty much from anywhere as long as you have the internet connection and in various devices. So connectivism is basically connecting online, and you have a community of people that you learn from. Now, how you decide, what tool you decide is up to you. This is what's called a personal learning environment, a PLE. And a PLE is basically, I define as the place you decide to learn, the tool, the online place you decide to learn. It's a personal learning environment. Not all people will define it this way. But here are a variety of examples. So many of you, you're already doing this. You're doing it today. But many of you have done it before in Yahoo groups. Can any of you type inside the chat box the ones that you recognize here? But some of you have done this in Yahoo groups. Some of you might have done this with your students where you organize online chats. There's one up there. Maybe you can identify the two little blue men that are on there, which tool that might be. You see the little icon with the email. You might recognize that. The W on the corner. Okay, so Facebook, some of you have Facebook pages, and we'll talk about that in future sessions. Yes, exactly. Nora said MSN. Daniela said Skype. Ola said Facebook. The one in the corner with the W, does anyone know what that is? Yes, Greta said Yahoo. We have Google. Well, now we have Google Plus, so some of these do change. Okay, so a couple of them, Second Life, Wikipedia, WordPress for blogs, Flickr. So there's RSS, Nings, which still exist. They're not free, but they still exist, and some of them are free. So there's a whole bunch of places that you can decide to learn. But there is a method for doing this. When you go online, one of the things you might want to know is, well, how do I share and connect on social media? How do I learn with these tools? The learning is very different than face-to-face learning. So yes, we can have a Skype conversation, and that's a little bit easier, but many of us may not know things like, how do I learn on a webinar? What's a webinar? A webinar is a video conferencing. It's what you're doing right now. But there's different things, and I think of the 4 C's. So if you remember the 4 C's, to connect, communicate, collaborate, and create. So as soon as you go in a place like this, a platform like Adobe Connect, and this is a webinar, okay? So if you were to attend this webinar, one of the things you would want to do is what people are doing right now in the chat box. You connect with somebody else, and this could be very easy, like Lou just said to Greta, thanks, Greta. That's one of the best ways to connect, is you communicate. You thank someone for something. You can do this on Facebook, on Twitter. You can say thank you for your resource, or you make a very simple comment. It's very fast like that, and already you made a friend. So Lou, where are you from? I know Greta's from Argentina, but there are some people here from Greece. There are some people here from Jordan. There are some people here from, see? So Lou is from Brazil, but she just connected with Greta in Argentina. So see how exciting that is? I'm in San Antonio right now, and I am connecting with you in Jordan and San Francisco and Argentina and Brazil and Greece and different places, London, Colombia. See, so you meet friends from all over the world. It's really exciting. And then the next stage, eventually, when you communicate online enough, you may want to collaborate. So, for example, Greta, I know, has connected with Joan Young in the United States, in California, and together they have Skyped with each other in their classes. So there are different ways you can connect, you can communicate, collaborate, and make a big project and do something really great. And finally, the last thing, create. You may create a wiki together. You may create a class blog together. You may create a class video, so many different things. So the people you connect with, so the places, what were the places that we connected on? Does anybody remember the acronym? You're typing, so let's see if you get it right. See if you've been paying attention. Oh, very good. Nora got it. Okay, so Nora says professional learning. Well, it's professional learning environment, your PLE. So what is a PLN? Well, the PLN are the people you connect with from all over the world. So we have Greta, Lou, Funda, Francisco, Faisal, Daniel, Bonnie, Dave, all of you that are in the room today. You are a personal learning network that we're all learning from with each other. When you decide to share what you're doing, I also like to I've termed it the Passionate Learning Network, and you can find that on my blog. And the reason I say that is because I meet really great people out there who I connect with every day, who just love doing things with kids and stuff like that, who really love their classrooms and really love educating and love learning online. So the best way to get started is really simple. You just have one person that you connect with online. It could be in the chat box today. You could get their email, you could get their Twitter, you can get their Facebook, anything, so you can continue to connect with them and learn from them and eventually collaborate and create. So here are the different ways you can learn online. These are some really great tools, but some you've already have experience with. Some of you have experience with blogs, Twitter, Facebook, education communities, webinars, and LinkedIn. But the problem becomes, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. So if you want to make it specific to English language teaching or to your subject in specific, it's really good to know the best places. And the way you begin is you answer these questions. What do you want to learn? It's up to you. What is the best to? How do you want to learn? So a lot of this is based on your learning style. Me, I love to communicate with people. I love video. I love to listen. I love to see things. Just like our students, we have a way that we like to connect, that we like to learn. There are certain of us love to learn by, visually, by writing. We have to use our hands. So all of that is going to determine which tools are the best for you. I'm a Twitterholic. I love being on Twitter, and I love webinars. So this is fun for me. And I think that's part of the thing. When you connect, you got to decide what's fun for you, because whatever is fun for you, that's what you're going to invest in. So I read blogs, but I read them very quickly and I skim them, and that's only a part of my professional development online. I don't do that a majority of the time. I'm not the best commenter or anything like that, because I prefer to learn this way. I prefer to talk with people, communicate, and things like that. So it all depends on you, and your time will depend on how excited you are. But if you ever feel that point where you're burnt out, then just stop, cut out one of the parts. Just do what you can do. That's my advice. And then you won't get so burnt out. But there's also specific places you may not know about that don't specifically, that you can go to that are free. One of the best places that I've found is CETA.eu. You can join this online community. It's really fantastic. It's Southeastern European Teachers Association. And they have these courses that you can take online with lots and lots of other people. Nikki Hockley recently did one. And this is specific to English language teachers. So that's why I chose CETA. There are a lot of courses out there, but you log in. It's for free. And then you get different tasks that you do each week. You get to talk with people all over the world. The last one was, one of the ones that I participated in last was Nikki Hockley's mobile, digital mobile, well, it's mobile learning course. And there was over 150 participants from all over the world. And we had to create assignments and tasks and lesson plans for our teachers. So it was really, really fantastic. And that's CETA.eu. You can see it on there. There was one that Osgay recently did on young learners and digital storytelling, and there was tons of people in that one. And it was really exciting because they make you do things. It's like taking an online course, and many of your institutes will count this as professional development. You can also get certificates and stuff if you just ask the course director. The next one they have is actually in July, and this one is called CETA Music. So you can take it from different authors and things like that. The next one are EVO sessions. Now these are primarily in January and February. It's actually it's a free. You can visit the wiki, evosessions.pbworks.com. It's based on TESOL, but so it's free. Just like this is part of TESOL. TESOL is a huge organization, so it's really, really fantastic. The EVO courses are electronic village online sessions, and they can teach you so much about using technology. It's 5 weeks, so you have 5 weeks, and you do different things as well. And there's so many. I get so excited that I attend like 6 courses at once, and I'm a terrible student because I'm just always doing this online. But you can find more about this. I'm actually going to talk about a lot of these sessions and even more. This is just like a little snippet of things for teachers. But I am sick. But Tara is actually going to be publishing my post on this at the ESLlibrary.com. So you can find even more stuff while we run through this. So if you don't get all of this, you can find it there. But they're doing a call for proposals right now. If you feel like you want to offer a course, Mike, there is Mike from Venezuela, Mike08 and Eva Webb, and at Mike8 and Mike08 and at Eve Webb. Both of them were part of one for podcasting. That was fantastic. There's so many. There's digital storytelling. There was one that I did on Second Life and teaching students on Second Life. There was one on, there's just so many that you can do, how to be a web head, how to use ICT. I mean, they just have so many sessions. Right now they have a call for proposals. So if you want to be part of the team that goes and they offer these for free, then you can be part of that as well. Thousands of educators, English language teachers participate in these. So that's evosessions.pbworks.com. Another great place to find out all this information, and I'm really glad to be part of the team, is the ELT Chat. Now, this is a Twitter online chat. And on Twitter, you can connect with hundreds of English language teachers every Wednesday. You don't even have to be on Twitter. All you have to do is go to search.twitter.com, and I'll put that on there. And then you can even do a search now with, remember the number sign? Just in the search box, type in the number sign, ELT Chat. And you get to vote on the topics. We do this through the blog, eltchat.com, or you can go to eltchat.pbworks.com. We record all the chats. So all you do is, if you are on Twitter, then all you have to do is you have to go ahead and you can use the hashtag ELT Chat, the number sign ELT Chat, and just add that to your tweets on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. London time or at 9 p.m. London time. And this is every single Wednesday, and we have different topics. The last one was on communicative approach. And we have a lot of people. We did one on Dogmat, and we talked with Luke Meddings, who is one of the founders of Dogmat. So you can even talk with well-known authors, keynote speakers, theorists. I mean, you wouldn't be able to get this kind of development. It's just so enriching. But Ola did ask a question. She said, how, as a beginner, do you develop a PLN? Well, remember the 4 C's. The first one is communicate. So what you want to do is just what you're doing now, where you can join something like ELT Chat, and then you ask, you just go with another person like Marissa Stee or Sean Walden or Barb Saka or RLI Bernie or Chuck Sandy. They're all moderators of ELT Chat. You can ask them questions. You can tell them, I need to, I would like you to retweet this resource for me. Or I did this blog post, or I would like to connect with other educators. And all of us, I'm Shel Taro, by the way, that Twitter handle, and all of us will help you connect with people online. Well, Valentina, that's a great question. How can I join a webinar? Just what you did today. As long as you have the link, then you just sign in, and you're in a webinar right now, because a webinar is a presentation with video and also with voice. So you're already participating. You already did it. That's how simple it is. So as long as you have the link, if you have the link, then you can enter the room, and then you just, you can pick any name. It doesn't even have to be your real name. And then use the chat box, and you can start typing to people. Do the @ sign. So right now I'm using @ as a thing, and I'm saying, hello, I'm in San Antonio, Texas, because that's where I am right now. Where are you from? And asking a question, asking for help is a great way to start your connection. But one of the simplest ways, connecting through blogs. Most of us have experience with blogs, and that's always the first step. So you want to find blogs that are in your field or ones that you connect with. I'm going to show you a few for English language teachers. But if you go to my blog, I'll show you that one right now. It's teacherbootcamp.edublogs.org. And if you go there, you can find a tab that says Blog Roll. Click on Blog Roll, and you'll be able to find many, many different educational blogs in different subjects that you can connect with. But one way to start developing a PLN through blogs is, well, you can definitely do it first through leaving comments, and then you can connect with people that way. Every time you leave a comment, you usually have to leave your email address. So sometimes someone like Larry Ferlazzo is a great person to start following as an English language teacher, and his blog is amazing. So go to Larry Ferlazzo's blog. He has everything. If you just Google Larry Ferlazzo, then you will find amazing things on Larry's blog. That was one of the first blogs I started commenting on. And Larry does something really great. So if you are a blogger, this is an idea of how to connect with your readers and develop your PLN. And one of the ways is that you would get the email and you just email that person. This is what Larry does. Every time you leave a comment, Larry will eventually email you and say thanks and then respond. But he responds through email. Well, this is a great way to start connecting with people because email seems to be a little bit more personal than in the comment section. Or some people don't realize that when they leave a comment to go back. One of the ways you can do that is sometimes at the bottom of the comment, you'll see subscribe to comments. And if you have an RSS reader, then you can subscribe to your comment, and then you'll always get updates on through your email. And also you can find ways that when you subscribe to the comments, it'll let you know everybody who has commented on that post. If you subscribe to your own comments, then you'll constantly know when people comment, and then you can comment through them. Leave links. You can always leave links in a comment, but don't mark it yourself. Just leave links to different things if you find them appropriate, because people don't really like people who market too much. So you want to make sure that you share useful things and that it relates to the post. And it's good to make a well-meaningful comment when you comment to someone you really appreciate. And I'll show you some great blogs out there by authors that you have read in our field, is that you can go ahead and leave a thoughtful comment on their post, and they'll come back and they'll connect with you. Widgets. Widgets are something that you see on the sidebar. A lot of the widgets you might see, for example, I say everyone should have a cluster map widget. So a cluster map is basically telling you where people around the world are connecting on your blog. So if you look at it, eventually when you blog some more, a lot of times when we start blogs, I think one of the things is we get depressed and we don't see people commenting. But people get so busy, and the commenting process is very difficult. When you think about the time to leave a comment, it's so much easier to leave a comment on Twitter, because on a blog you have to go and do the captchas, you have to put in your email, you have to put in the comment itself that has to be long. So it's a big process. So a lot of times you might get comments if you have like a Facebook widget. A Facebook widget will allow the person to like. I know someone who writes a great one called David Capular. He writes great technology posts. And one of the things he has is he has where you can check a box. This post was cool. This one was awesome. So it's really, really, really different ways to, there's different widgets that tell you, hey, people are reading my blog. But with the cluster maps, I love it because then I can find like tons of countries that I never would thought of where people have visited my blog. If you don't have your own blog, then you can consider guest posting on a blog. Ken Wilson, one of the well-known ELT English language teaching authors out there, loves to have guests from all over the world. And he loves it if you're especially a non-native speaking teacher. But he really likes from all over the world. I've posted on his blog, and you can get a lot of people to visit your own blog or to be able to connect with them through different blog postings. A guest post is where you just you talk with the author and you say, hey, I really love your blog. I would love to write something for your blog because I really think that what I write is really great material for your blog as well. It relates to the topic. And a lot of times people will let you do that because they don't have a lot of time. I love when people guest post in my blog. In fact, if you visit my blog right now, you'll read a guest post from Joel Josephson, who has written a great one about social media and why English language teachers or teachers in general should connect on social media. So I really think that this is a great way to go on to it. Thanks, Tara, for sharing Ken Wilson's blog. And then there's resources you can share, and it's also your digital footprint. So I want to end this by playing a little game. Let's see if you can guess some of the famous English language teachers, teaching authors online who have blogs and Twitter handles. You can actually talk with them and have, you can have different types of conversations with them, and they're great about replying. And Nora got it right. Okay, so you get a virtual cookie, Nora. So Nora from Greece guessed it. It is Scott Thornberry. And the great thing about Scott is I've seen people argue on Scott's blog and say, well, Scott, you know, I don't really think this applies to my subject, or how about this, or how about that. And Scott is really great about commenting back and responding back and saying, oh, that's a great point. And sometimes he even includes it in his next book. So that's a great person to connect with. He also is on Twitter, so you can find him on, you can either Google Scott Thornberry, and if you do that, you're going to find all his information. And then Tyson said that they were spelled wrong. So let me go ahead and see if I can find Scott. But Scott is a great person to connect with through his blog. Let's see. I will find him. But here's his, it's wordpress.com that he uses. So you can find him here or on Twitter. And he likes to share his food posts. Okay, so who is this blogger? Anyone can guess this one. This one doesn't use his Twitter account as much, but I went ahead and included him because he does run a great blog, and he's one of the well-known ELT people out there who's just extremely amazing. I just flabbergasted every time he does a talk. He's the only keynote that I know that you don't that you can see present, and he doesn't use PowerPoint or anything. All he uses is his voice and himself, and he's just that interesting that you could listen to him for hours. Yes, Lou, very good. Good job. Lou gets the next virtual chocolate. David Crystal, very good. So David Crystal has this great blog, the DC blog. And he's also online. So is his family. You'll find Ben Crystal online. And you, like I said, you can have conversations with them through their blog or through Twitter. So it's a great way to be able to connect with these people online. So I'm going to go ahead and find David Crystal's blog here and put it in the chat. But it's davidcrystal.com, so that should be pretty easy. You can connect with him that way. He's hardly ever on Twitter, though, so don't be sad if he doesn't come on. If he doesn't respond to you on Twitter, it's better to get him through his blog or through email. So the next one, who do you think this is? And you can see his lovely face there, so this should give you a few points. Okay, great. Tyson got it right. Oh, yay. And this is Ken Wilson, and they showed his website earlier. So if Tara could share that again, that would be great. And you can have, okay, so on Twitter I made the terrible mistake of not putting Ken Wilson London. So make sure you have @Ken Wilson London when you tweet him, because then somebody else will get it. It won't be that Ken Wilson. So he's @Ken Wilson London. And Ken Wilson is a great person to connect with. And then here's another one. You may recognize this one as well, who's a great keynote and presenter as well. And I'll share his, yes, very good. Tyson got it again, which is Jeremy Harmer. And Jeremy's really great about responding to people. And if you ever go up to him in person, he'll shake your hand, and he's just a really great personal kind of person. So the great thing about online professional development that I hope I showed you today is that not only is it easy, it's easy to really contact those that you read about and stuff like that, but it's really great professional. You learn from the very best. You learn from the authors, the theorists behind this, so a lot of things too. Now, one of the ones that I forgot to put on here that I should have, because he's amazing and very approachable, is @Luke Meddings. Now, Luke Meddings also was part of the Dogma Theory with Scott Thornberry, and Luke is a great keynote speaker. He's going to be coming the keynote for TESOL France soon in Paris in November. And he's just one of the most approachable guys. But you can see so many English language teaching authors are online. They are connecting themselves. They are blogging. They're getting ideas for their books from their blog. They talk to the people who read their blog. So if you have a question about any of their blogs or anything like that, they make webinars. I know that Jeremy Harmer constantly has webinars that he offers for free. It's free to connect, just like you're connecting with me today, and you can ask them questions. You can argue with them. I don't suggest that. Don't tell them that I said that. But there's so many ways that you can connect online. The next couple of webinars I will show you, we'll talk about connecting on Facebook and how to go online to Facebook and teach it with your students, but also how to use that for professional development. The great kinds of Facebook pages out there where English language teachers are connecting and adding posts. And you can even share your own blogging posts and stuff on there. The next one after that, we'll talk about Twitter, how to develop your personal learning network, how to connect with educators there, the people to follow, and there's many of them here today. So if you have, like Tyson is a great one, Tara is, and then Gret. So if you have your Twitter handle, please go ahead and put it up there. And yes, Tara, that's another great one, Jason Runshaw. And the only reason I didn't put Jason was because Jason said that he stepped out for a little bit. But he runs out of ELT, but he still does literacy, and he does a fantastic job with literacy too. And all his posts out there are so wonderful. I really used a lot of Jason Renshaw stuff, and he's at English Raven. But this is hopefully just to get you into it, to get you excited about continuing to do this professional development and to be out there and how to connect with others. And another great way, and so I'll screen share with you, but let me go ahead and put this. So one of the other chats I do is ELT Chat, and on ELT Chat you have different speakers, and one of them is at T-Roof, which is Ruth Cohenson, and she said the power we have through networking is humbling, frightening, and exciting. Use it well. So it's so amazing and exciting the things we can do on social networks. And it's great the professional development that we can have. But at the end of the day, it's people, and it's the people that we connect with. So don't be afraid to go out there and to share and to connect with people and say, hello, I'm from, and if it doesn't work the first time, then do it again. All the people in here that I know of, I've connected with them, and they're very approachable. So if one person doesn't connect with you, then try any of us. Try any of the people in this webinar today. They will more than welcome, I'm sure, to say hello and answer you back. And if you have any questions, and I'm always available, so if you have anything to share, just let me know. I'm Shelly Teron. You can always find me on online because I'm always connecting, and I always do it mainly through my smartphone. That's why I'm always connecting, because I travel so much and I have all these great apps. I should have shown these apps for connecting, but I actually have. It's called Shelly's Web, and you will find, for example, you can see some of them here. There's Twitter, there's Facebook. There's Widgeo. Widgeo is a great format. All of these were free apps, by the way. Read It Later, Digo, WordPress. You see my Posterous. I have even more than that. It's just amazing. I have Skype, EM Buddy for my instant messaging, Yahoo, Google Voice, basically Google for anything. So all of these are great ways to connect if you have a different place in general. Oh, thank you yet for sharing Larry Ferlazzo's, because he's an excellent one. And if you have any English language teaching specific people to follow, or their blogs that you think are amazing, go ahead and share them. Marissa runs one of the best ones, Marissa Constantinides. She's a Delta tutor and a Celta one, and hers is amazing. I shared with her earlier at Marissa C, but I think she was ranked number 3 for English language teacher blogs in general. The ESL library blog is a great one, and that's where on Tuesday you'll find many, many more resources. So the last thing before I go, I want to show you one website. So I'm going to show you my screen. And this is a great place. This is called the Reform Symposium. And this isn't language specific, but there are a lot of English language teachers presenting here. So this is reformsymposium.com. Hopefully you can see this with my screen. And there are many, 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 many ways that you can go on the schedule. You can see people all over the world, including some of the ones in here. I think Tyson will be presenting. I think Chu will be presenting. There's maybe Greta will be presenting. We have Faisal will be presenting. We have different people at the reformsymposium.com, and this is just like this. It's 3 days of webinars, and you get to connect with over 8,000 educators from all over the world. It's so exciting and dynamic. So hopefully you can be a part of this. We do have even where you can try for professional development, continuing education credit, where you can fill out forms here that your institution would be able to count this as your continuing education credit. You get certificates and things like that. So and we do have openings. So if you would like to give a webinar like I'm giving today, you're more than welcome to join our crew. Just email me and I'll send you the information. So let me go ahead and go back to the screen. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for participating. You can find me. I'll put the last document again. Let's see, the last one that we did. So you can find me at shellyterrell at gmail.com, and I can email you a certificate for attendance today. And you'll see me here every single Friday. And the live binder for this is bit.ly/capital ELT links. And you can find a live binder of all the resources from all these talks. So thank you so much for coming. That's the online conference. It's free, and it's just like this. You just log into rooms and you get to hang out with really cool people. Well, pretty much all the people here and many, many more. So have a great weekend. Does anybody have any type of comments or questions or anything? You're more than welcome to click on the mic. I have microphones for everybody, so you can click on the mic. No, actually, Tyson, I haven't, but I'm listing them now on that live binders. And actually on the live binders, I'll add them. The next one is Facebook for English language teachers, how to use that with your students and also how to connect there. The next one is Twitter for English language teachers. And then also after that, I think it's going to be maybe a comic strips for English language learners. Okay, Ms. Foster asked, I'd like to do a webinar with my students. How can I launch one on my own? Well, there's a few. First of all, you have to get a room. You can try a lot for free. This is Adobe Connect, and it's a great room. But if you want to try one for free for the meantime, Google WizIQ. You can get up to 100 people on there, and it's free. So I would try that, and then it gives your students a link that your students can go on to, and you can even do a recording. And there are recordings on all of this. Yes, you can give free webinars on WizIQ. Okay, Beverly wants to know if there's webinars for principals. There was one. There was a monthly one that I was helping George Quiros with. And George Quiros will be part of the Reform Symposium. He's a great person to follow, but he's with the Connected Principals, and he does CTU Chat. So the best thing to do is to ask, thanks Greta for putting Connected Principals, is to ask George Quiros if he is planning on doing those sessions again. And he has an archive of those sessions that he's already done. So maybe if you ask him, he will start doing that again, because he does a lot of webinars, and he's the one who knows about the webinars that are free for administrators. a lot of them you can also find on classroom20.com, classroom20.com. Those will give you certificates of attendance too, and they're fantastic. They do all kinds of topics. Any other questions before we go? Well, thank you so much. Have a great, great, great weekend. And I will see you guys next week when we do Facebook for English language teachers. Oh, well, that would be great, Tara. Okay, so later on at the bit.ly, I'll tweet that at Shell Terrell, if in case you're not following me on Twitter. You'll find the live binder. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. So bit.ly ELT links, and you'll actually find the post there that lists tons, like 30 different education free online resources for English language teachers. Okay, so Faisal, what are webinars? Webinars are just like where we're participating today. What they basically are a way that a presenter uses voice or video to present like a slide, either a PowerPoint, a PDF, a presentation or workshop of information. On webinars, many are interactive. The participants can participate. They can use different tools like the chat box. They can use audio. Usually some people do use audio and things like that. You can use a whiteboard. You can have them write. It depends how active you would like them to have. And there's usually a recording afterwards of the presentation. So it's an interactive way to learn together. So hopefully